Joining me today is Greg Barila, online editor of Messenger Community News. Thanks for joining me, Greg.
Hi, Helen.
Now, Athelston residents in Adelaide's northeast had a lucky escape after a serious bushfire there in the early hours of Tuesday morning. Now, authorities are saying that the fire could have been deliberately lit. What's the latest there, Greg?
Well, that's right, Helen. Investigations are still ongoing into that fire, but authorities do believe it was deliberately lit. Hasn't been confirmed as yet, but that's the early report, which is a real concern for residents there because they're worried that the culprit could strike again. The fire came within 20 metres of some homes, and we saw photos from readers which were sent into our websites which showed exactly that. So a real concern. The temperatures are quite high, so it is a real worry. We're looking at this issue this week in our Leader and East Torrens Messenger papers, looking at all the issues that have come out of this fire, the clean-up that's got to go on, and the emergency systems, and basically looking at whether those systems are in place. So we're asking those questions. And also the police have a watch list for firebugs, so we're going to have a little closer look at that as well.
Definitely. It looks like it's going to be a very hot and long bushfire season, so huge issues there that are very important to talk about coming into that.
Definitely.
Now onto another issue, and pets are always a popular present at Christmas time, but every year we're reminded of the many poor pooches and cats that end up in shelters where they're no longer loved.
That's right. Our last paper before Christmas, a couple of our editions had a look at some of the shelters, and we profiled some of the pets which are at the shelters waiting for a home. And there were 6 dogs down in the southern suburbs, which since our story, we've managed to find some owners to come forward and give them a good home, which was a great outcome. And also 4 cats from the Wingfield Animal Welfare League shelter have now got a new home thanks to our story. But there is one cat in particular, a stray or a former stray called Lady, who's 3 years old. She's been at the Wingfield shelter, the Animal Welfare League, there for 101 days. So if you're out there and you're looking for a lovely, friendly cat, please consider taking on Lady at your place. If you are interested, there is a number that people can call.
There is a number for residents to call, and they can get in touch with the AWL on 8348 1300 if they're interested in adopting this little cat Lady.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to some good news, Greg, and the hard-working team at the Messenger paused briefly over the Christmas break, but they're back in action and back in the newsroom now. That's
right, we're back in the newsroom this week. We took a little pause for Christmas, but we're back working hard to put the papers out again. The first edition back for 2010 will be January 7, so look out for it on your lawn. And as always, we're looking forward to plenty of big campaigns for 2010.
Okay, you had some big campaigns in 2009 as well?
We did. We ran some campaigns which were the first for us. One in particular was Know Your Neighbour, which came out of some of the heat that happened last year, and there were reports of elderly residents dying in their homes. So our response to that was to run a campaign just encouraging people to get to know their neighbours, go next door, knock on the door and make sure that those people are okay. And we uncovered some fantastic stories about people looking out for each other. Another campaign we ran was Building Bridges, which was our response to the global financial crisis. So, the crisis may be over for some sectors, but a lot of businesses are still doing it tough. So we'll be back in 2010 to help them get through that.
Fantastic. Look forward to it. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Helen.